But then again, who am I to judge? I'm no God. We mere mortals on a planet of dust that goes around the planet.
Because you off your sex addict. I need to ask that question first.
I'm off of what?
Your sex addict.
Can we start the podcast?
Can I start the podcast first?
I'm gonna ask you that question.
Damn, why you gotta come back to me with the sex addict shit?
Nigga,
Shit.
It's just like being an alcoholic.
Starring Timothy Ron, Cool Cam, Brittany Carter, TK, David Ellerby. Hold on, wait a minute. Y'all thought I was finished?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is Great Apes Cafe, great appreciation for people, entertainment, and success. I hope that you like, subscribe, share, and leave a comment. I'm going to have everybody introduce themselves, starting with the person who hasn't been here in quite some time, and you know who you are.
Oh, goddamn, kicking in your dough, laying on the floor. It's Boss Talk.
It's Cool Kev, and you know that.
Everybody know me as Timothy Raw.
It's just Dave.
It's Queen Brittany.
Yes.
Y'all know what it is.
In today's episode, we're going to talk about the importance of actually chasing your dreams and what sacrifices, compromises, and things you are willing to do to get there. Of course, people in this world, unfortunately, chase clout and do things that way would others seem to be like, you're doing too much, and they judge. But what are you willing to get to your pinnacle of what you may call success, fame, glory? That's what I want to talk about in this episode. And I shared everybody at some point why I talk about this on the episode. But we're going to start this off with Queen Brittany because TK wanted Queen Brittany to start this off. So I'm going to alley-oop that conversational experience with the Queen.
Okay, so basically, because see how you asked me before the podcast and then how you just asked me.
So smooth.
Right, now I'm moved.
What you mean? So I'm getting
It was
tired of
not
y'all.
the same,
What
Tim. It
you
was not the
mean?
same.
But that's
Tim,
it.
you went from rah to the midnight level.
And I want to
Like,
say this before she starts. Her story is very inspirational. I really hope somebody is able to take something away from this.
Damn,
Please.
TK, how much you want me to tell? Okay.
dang,
right.
set the bar real high.
There you go.
The importance of chasing your dreams.
Yes, Lord.
I really can speak on this from personal experience because I am an entrepreneur. And honestly, y'all, I was just thinking the other day, like this year make 3 years that I've been in full entrepreneurship. And
Congratulations.
listen, I think about the people that started with me. And then 3 years later doesn't seem like a long time. But being that I've been in business for 3 years, I feel so proud.
Yeah.
Because it really takes a lot, to make a business successful and stay open,
That's right.
First of all, that first year is like so hard because no matter how many classes you take or how many mentors you get, you're definitely going to have shit pop up that you ain't never know in your life was ever going to pop up, and bitch, what you going to do with it? You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
So it's a lot of things that you run into that you are just never going to be prepared for. And a lot of people don't make it through, those times. So the fact that I've been an entrepreneurship for 3 years in my own business and now staffed.
That's a big one.
Right. I feel so proud of myself, but it took a lot of shit to get here.
Yes.
First of all, I had to literally die completely to my old self. And that was something that I would have never imagined. Like if somebody would have came to me and said, oh, you got to die to the old you before you can move into this new level. And I'd have been like, what the fuck you talking about? You know?
Right. Let me interject you.
Yeah.
We talked about this on the episode a few episodes back.
Mm-hmm.
That's not the question. Let me reiterate the question. What sacrifices you had?
That's what I was about to tell you.
Okay, I'm okay.
The sacrifice was literally myself. Like everything I knew, everything I believed, everything I had been taught. My friends, some of my friends, family members.
What was it like for the friends and family members? What you mean?
I went through like the worst breakups I had ever been through in my life. But I had a choice.
Necessary?
Absolutely. I had a choice. because I was in a state of frustration. So understand that if you're living in a state of frustration, it's because you're being resistant to what your true higher self is supposed to be.
I feel that.
So when you're living in frustration, it's because you're fighting against who you're truly supposed to be. And I was living in frustration. But it was because I was afraid to be all of these things that was coming to me in my head because I had never been that before, right? And then everybody around me was codependent on me. So how the fuck can I do these things for myself when you need me to help you with your business and you need me to help you with your kids and you need me to help you with your ride back and forth and you need me to help you because you need groceries
and then the question,
and you need a fucking loan.
Thinking though, are they willing to do the same thing that you do for them?
I mean, if they were, then I wouldn't have been on E because if you're doing things for people and they're reciprocating back, then you're not on E's. You still have the energy to do what you need to do for yourself.
In your first year.
Facts.
I hear this from a lot of business people. You went from, I don't know whether you were working prior to that, like just working or whatever.
Yeah, I always worked other jobs.
Okay, so you went from working 9 to 5, whatever, to working down to 24/7, 7 days a week as your own.
At first, yeah.
Because most business owners don't talk about that part. About you want to start a business to be self-sufficient, and then you find out all the work you got to put in and how much free time
and that's when you learn who there for you. And that's what made it easy for me to be like, I'm willing to make these sacrifices for myself because ain't no fucking body else really. It was when I say I never ever in life go back and be like, bitch, I did this for you, this for you, this for you, this for you. I don't have to do that.
I'm petty.
But when I say that when it came time for me to open my business, back then I still had expectations of people. So when I seen that, I done helped so many motherfuckers and I literally only got 2 fucking people that I can call to try to help me get my business going, that shit hurt me more than anything. You know, it was like, this is the one thing that means so much to me. Like, this isn't just about being a business owner. I don't give a fuck about the clout. I don't give a fuck about people's opinion. I don't give a fuck about if you think it's gonna win or fail. What I'm saying is that if I don't do this right fucking now, I gotta make a choice on being a mom or being a slave to a job. It was not about entrepreneurship. It was about me having a gift and seeking some type of freedom so I could just be a mom. So I can just make enough money to pay bills and be at home with my kids. And I had motherfuckers telling me, oh, well, you ain't never gonna get on your feet until you find a man and y'all settle down and you got somebody to pay half.
What they gotta do with you being an entrepreneur?
But that was the thing. It was like they seen me in a constant struggle trying to take care of these kids by myself. And they doubted me so hard.
Instead of doubting, they should have been helping you.
They doubted me so hard. So when I made that move that I made, because nobody expected it, I was broke as fuck. I was renting a booth. I was my first few months of entrepreneurship, I was booth renting. But that's still entrepreneurship because you're paying for your small space, right? I was booth renting. So when I left that situation, it wasn't like a peaceful leave. It was me and the owner at the time, who was my friend at the time, who I had to step out or I knew things was about to turn real bad. It was one of those types of things, you know, and then at that time I was still dealing with a lot of anger issues and I was on all type of mental health medications, mood stabilizers, antidepressants. And I mean,
you know, I heard, let me interject. I heard you said this plenty of times. I find that hard to believe. Whatever you're doing is,
whatever you're doing now, your work.
It's working. You know what I mean? I'm like, all this.
I was medicated from the age of 14 to 32.
That'll do it. That'll do it.
14 to 32 years old. If I didn't have my meds, I would panic. Because when I wasn't on meds, I would go crazy, you know?
So the renting a booth, you were like in other people's businesses renting booths and trying to start up your own.
Right.
So you were like competition for some of these people.
Well, it shouldn't have been
friendly competition.
Yeah, it shouldn't have been because that was my best friend from the age of 8 years old.
Okay, so that's a different situation.
So I went in a space where I felt was more safe.
Okay,
you know,
so that's what
we were not in the same line of expertise.
Okay, so for those who don't know, somebody's probably watching the podcast. You're a loctician.
Loctician, correct.
Loctician. I can't pronounce it. My tongue's like Tim. And the person that you were running from was a hairdresser.
What you mean?
So it's a different. Y'all were in the hair, but y'all were in different aspects.
In two different expertise. That was the grand idea I had.
So that makes it easier for somebody to allow you into that shop. And
I got a list.
Well, not necessarily, because prior to that, I did everything.
Right.
And initially, this person that I'm speaking of, I did hair before them.
Okay.
So a lot of things, they saw me do. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't even, it was really on some, it was initially supposed to be on some sister shit. Like, we about to get together and
it sounds like
build
it didn't
our
work
shit.
out quite.
It didn't, but it's okay though.
Okay.
It's
not
so
like
okay.
in a bad way, but I'm just saying.
No, it was necessary. I can say now that it was necessary.
For the growth of your business.
Well, not for the growth of me,
Okay.
For the growth of me. Mm-hmm. Like I said, all of my relationships I had created were codependent. Everybody depended on me.
That's a lot.
So in order for me to break that I had created, I had to walk away from all of it.
Yeah.
Wasn't that a lot? When you realize how much expectation.
In a way, though, she was already a
boss.
boss.
This is why I always argue with y'all about being a leader.
No, listen, in a way, she was already a boss.
I was used to carrying the weight because I was the oldest child, and my mom and my parents divorced when I was 8 years old. And my mom worked 2 jobs, 3 jobs. My mom never let us go without anything, but we didn't get to see her much, but it's because she worked, And so when my mom was working, being that I was the oldest, from a very young age, I've always been a nurturing person. And I took care of my siblings from small. Like, you wouldn't believe.
That's a lot of sacrifice.
It's a lot. I mean, it sounds crazy, but I was left with a baby at 3 years old. Wow. Literally.
And you're a baby yourself.
And I was literally a toddler. You know what I'm saying? But I was left with a baby at home.
She was 3 and the baby
I was 3.
I know. That's
and
what I'm saying.
Look
at the gravity of this.
That's
right. So I had already been used to carrying the weight for so long. Like, you could call me, bitch, put it on her back and she gonna take it, because I'm gonna put it on my back and I'm gonna run. But I didn't realize how detrimental it was to my own personal growth. Because everybody's needs was more important than mine. You know what I'm saying? I had to make sure you were good, mom is good, the house is clean, like, shit is in order. And then as I became an adult, all I did was take on more shit. So every relationship I had, friendship, boyfriend, friends, family, I was that. Oh, I'm going to buy food. I'm feeding everybody. I'm paying when we go in places. I'm providing the gas. I'm giving the rides. You know what I'm saying?
Well, let me ask you this question now, since you somewhat answered it. Through all your sacrifice, adversity, what, as the end game or continuation of the end game, because was it worth it?
Was what worth it?
All the sacrifices you made.
Hell yeah. It didn't feel like it at the time.
It never feels like it.
But at the time, I had already come to the common awareness that even though this doesn't feel good for me, this is what's going to be best for me. And that's one thing that I have mastered in life. I am okay with not feeling good about something if I know that it's for my higher good.
Absolutely. Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Because I really believe that pain don't last always. I've been going through that shit since I was a little kid.
So far,
that shit is nothing to me. It's temporary. You get hurt, you hurt for a little while, that bitch heal, and you keep on going.
And if you get hurt again, it'll go back.
Right.
So as far as business, what is the biggest thing you've learned in these past 3 years about?
Hold that thought. Let me alley-oop it, because I'm gonna start bouncing ping pong.
Hey, nigga,
I got to alley-oop. I got to interject.
I kind of want to know myself.
This is important.
I want to know myself.
You got this one here. This is deep, because the way she just said.
Right, but go ahead. Okay, I'm so sorry. Excuse me.
Excuse me for calling you a nigga.
Freedom of speech. I
want to apologize to him, because you always apologize to us, and I respect you. That's just my terminology, and that's me.
You go. Freedom of speech.
But this one, I just got to. This is last question.
Yeah.
And this is deep, because this is like I said, I'm like TK.
I want to know myself.
This is interesting, because I don't hear women talk about their struggles when they open their business. All I hear them talk about is, I struggled, I got it, because they don't want to talk about it. And she's opening up a world that, as you always say, I got daughters, so I want to hear this. Because one day I might have to hear this. I want them to be entrepreneurs. What is the biggest thing you learned in the past since you got employees? Because one thing about being the sole proprietor, is you only responsible for yourself.
Yeah.
Now that you have
Solely
employees,
for
what have
yourself.
you learned
Yeah.
that is differentiates from being a sole proprietor to being a boss? Like having employees. What's one of the biggest takeaways you've gotten from being responsible for other people's salaries and things like that?
Yeah, I'm glad you said that because that is a regular. I think about it like I think about taking care of my children. Like how I carry myself. My employees' literal income depends on if I make or break in my business. And I care about my employees. You know what I'm saying?
That's deep.
And they've been both that are, I have 3, but both that work for me, not booth renters. They're my staff, trained, paid by me. They've both been with me for over a year. Okay. And the youngest has been with me since she was 9 years old. Right? So I love them also. Now, I've developed a lot of love for them. And so to say that is really big because it has definitely something that is always on my mind when I'm making decisions for my business. Right. Because they're like this shit is so much bigger than what it sounds like. Right. Like I'm responsible for somebody making their money that provides a stability for their home and their children and their feeding and their provision, you know? Right. And I've made promises on how this shit is going. That's a lot of pressure. It was because when they first came in, I said, if you trust me, I can show you this. And you can do this and make this much money and you won't never have to work for nobody else again. I promised them that. And times got tough. Maternity leave and shit like that. Decrease and increase of clientele, changes in prices and changes in staffing and shit. Where shit was really tough for me.
Especially on that COVID.
But guess what? Never has my staff ever suffered from the stress of what it took to carry my business.
That's right.
They always get paid. They always get their money. They're always taken care of. The shop is always stocked.
Beautiful shop.
Whatever they need.
Beautiful.
And they say, we need this. We got it. I go get it. I don't give a fuck if I got to make sacrifices in my income.
As they say, with sacrifices.
But this is, so the most valuable thing that I've learned in chasing my dreams,
right,
is that I have never, from the beginning, even though I thought that I had to do this for me, it was never about me from the beginning. In chasing my dreams, my life purpose is so much bigger than just one individual. The way I carry myself, the way I have healed and continue to heal, the way I speak over people, over clients, over the people out of the podcast, the people on the podcast, everywhere that I go, everybody's paying attention to what I have to say. So the most valuable thing has been to be 100% true to myself and never lack away from that. And never bite down on any type of low frequency. Because as soon as I drop down to that, what they say used to tell you in church, when the head falls, the whole body collapses. I'm the head and I know that. So my job is to make sure that I'm taking care of myself in all elements, because my life purpose is not just about me. Our life purpose is not for us to get through these things and learn these lessons just so we can grow and just so we can make money and just so we can get clout. I don't give a fuck about clout. Nobody got to ever give me no credit in this world, but I know what I can tell you, and I don't brag about this shit, but what I can tell you is this, just for the greater good of the people. I have countless amounts of people that come to me and say, you told me that this was going to turn around in my life, and it did. You told me that I was going to heal from this illness, and I healed. You told me that I was going to come in this shop and make this amount of motherfucking money, and I do. And that is so much bigger than me. It's not about my ego. It's about serving the people that mean something, that live in this frequency that I align with. It's about building us as a
good
unit.
question.
Oh, that's why I said. That's why I chopped.
That was a good. That was
I
a good.
I was already
You
feeling
gave
she
that
was
was a
heading in
good.
that direction. I wanted her to finish
The
that.
way that was a good. I'm happy you interject me.
And I do apologize for calling you the N word.
It's going back.
I'm just.
I do some nigga shit. You know.
Now, TK.
What's popping?
It's on to you, buddy.
All right.
What is your dream?
Man, look.
And what are you willing to
Fellow
actually?
entrepreneur.
When I started the business, look, I was just trying.
And what you willing to sacrifice for your dream?
Shoot, man, I was sacrificing, man, time. You know what I'm saying? Like, look, man, opposite of Brittany, I'm gonna say this much: I'm a gangster through and through. I always knew that. I told my mama, that 21. You know what I'm saying? Put a life insurance policy on me. I know who I am. You know what I'm saying? My thing was when I started my business, it was a big fuck you to Ben David. You know what I'm saying? They tried to hook me and book me on a couple of gun charges.
Oh, yeah.
And I fought that shit. Whereas niggas take pleas, you know what I'm saying, and sit down forever. I fought that shit and I won. So my lawyer told me, he was like, man, you know what? The craziest thing you could do right now, because you just beat these gun charges, is people on your head right now. We tried to emergency petition me getting weapons and all of that. For the time, you can do that. You can get an emergency petition if your life is in there. So I said, you know what? Bump all that. I'm an LLC, a gun business. So I did. I LLC my gun business. Brought that up. I didn't, I came in there both eyes, closed, because it wasn't a legit thing. I was just really just doing it, like I said, as a FU.
Fuck you.
So yeah, I did it. And I got my LLC, I got my my tax IDs and everything. Yeah. They put me down, yeah. And I stayed in it because eventually my heart got into it. I was like, damn, man, I'm my own businessman. But then I figured out, fuck am I paying the IRS for? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I said, you know what? I don't have I hit the Secretary of State, let them know I didn't make any income.
This man hit the secretary. He always hitting big people.
Elaine Marshall, yeah, good people.
Okay.
To let her know, hey, I didn't earn any income or nothing like that. Dissolve the business, and I private sell for myself. Why am I cutting in people I don't even see? That was my point. You know what I'm saying? Like ATF, when you go into a gun business, you get an FFL.
Yep, federal firearms.
I bypassed all that shit. I got a goddamn CCW. I can sell to any and everybody if you got a license. So there I go. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as I report that I had income that I made outside of the income I'm making.
It's for those of you who don't know, it's a thin gray area.
Yes, it is.
Those who have CCWs or it's considered a private party sale.
Yes,
so what I'm allowed to do as a legal gun owner is sell you a gun. Private party sale. As long as you are allowed to have and own a gun, I can sell you a gun.
Okay.
And I don't have to report that shit or nothing.
Nothing.
Right. But now,
got to pay the IRS.
If you want an F&N on one of them guns and I order it from a distributor, then I have to have an FFL, I have to have a federal firearms license. Go. But now if I buy a gun, I go to the store and go buy the gun for you.
Listen.
And then I wait a week or so, and you say, and I said, I'm putting this gun up for private sale.
Yep.
I can say you that is the loophole that Joe Biden and them are trying to close, because that's how people are getting guns.
I went through it with the ATF about it and everything. But
it is totally legal, and people do it every day.
Yeah.
So what kind of sacrifices did you have to make in leaning towards that?
The sacrifices I had to make were, first and foremost, me telling the people that I love in my life that, hey, I'm selling guns. If you want to get in on this project with me, you could, get from me some overhead. You know what I'm saying? Like, shoot, I can't do this alone. So when I figured, I didn't really need that, I could bypass the whole situation. The sacrifice came to me at the time where I'm still a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, the people that are looking at me are like, all right, shit, that nigga playing it cold. Like, he trying to do some old extra shit. So I'm sitting here telling the other niggas like myself, like, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm keeping it, keeping it straight. You know what I mean? Because you know how many people gonna reach out their hands. Hey, man, I need this, I need that. Hey, I'm not doing it like that. You know what I'm saying? You do it right. Whatever. Do it right.
You don't play with them alphabet boys.
I swear to God, if you ain't got the time, don't play with it. But look, the sacrifice that I took from it at the end of it was that I didn't have to lean on anybody to do anything that I wanted to do. To me, it was like, all right, cut everybody else out. You know what I'm saying? Even if, they come to me with whatever amount, whatever, that was a sacrifice to me to tell certain people that I love, like, nah, I can't do it. I'm not doing
Yeah,
this. I'm
that's
not doing
hard,
that.
though.
Because I can't vouch for you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you coming to me with all the right stuff, and then later on, I'm getting phone calls. You know what I'm saying? So the sacrifice for me was cutting out motherfuckers that I love. You know what I'm saying? Like, because they're looking at me like a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're supposed to play this shit like this.
There comes somebody who got a felony wanting to get a gun from you. And I realize even in a private party cell, you selling that gun.
Yeah.
That's
You're
your
held to.
Right.
Yeah, listen, you sell a felon. If I sell a felon a gun, and I knowingly know he was a felon,
Right.
whether it's a private
sit
party,
down.
FFL, you listen, that sit down ain't nothing to play with. When I say sit down,
Yeah.
you sitting down for 20 plus, and you when you get out, you gonna pay the government forever.
Yeah. Lord
The
knows.
fines
Lord
is
knows.
heavy.
Lord knows. That
They
was
don't
my
play-
sacrifice.
They
You know
don't
what I'm
play
saying?
with them guns,
But
bro.
eventually they realized, like, oh shit, TK playing it straight. You know what I'm saying? Let's keep
You
him
said they
straight.
don't play with the guns yet. It's still killings and but that's another,
Yeah.
Anyway,
Listen, that's a whole nother subject.
That's a whole nother subject.
I
Yeah,
want to speak on that. I want to speak on that because I've had those instances where I'm like, you know what? All right. My man asked me for something. He couldn't get it from me, so he got it from somebody else, and then something happened. You know what I'm saying? Then I look at myself like, damn, you know what I'm saying? I could have been in the same position sitting with this man. You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's still a catch-22 to it.
Right.
You know what I mean? I can't. I have to see it as what it is. This is a weapon of destruction. This isn't a weapon that's causing anybody life. You know what I'm saying? This is, you know what I'm saying? As far as I know, you know, you're self-defense or you're doing something else. You know what I'm saying? But that's not that. When you leave a gun store, what do they say?
Yeah, they don't know what you're doing.
They don't know what the fuck you're gonna do with it. You know, so they're giving you all the list of what you can and can't do and all that. I literally had to come outside myself and like, look, I love y'all. Get a goddamn permit.
Get a permit.
Some of y'all niggas ain't even felons. You know what I'm saying? Like, get a permit. Go do the class. This, that. Like, it was really, after a while, it started to be me, like, trying to bring my people up. Like, I'm trying to bring them up from that. Like, yo, we ain't got to go that way.
Legit.
Right.
Fact.
A lot of times I hear people talking about that, like what TK is saying, especially in our community. Coming from similar backgrounds as TK, knowing hustlers and stuff like that, they don't understand that there's a time to hustle and there's a time to go legit.
Right.
Like,
Facts.
even being in the liquor house / illegal club business.
Yes.
From the backside, out security and stuff like that, and then working in a legal club. Let me tell you the lit. Yeah, you see a lot of money from the backdoor clubs and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get
Tread
one,
lightly.
if you no, listen.
I'm
not incriminating.
I know you
Listen,
incriminate. You know,
if you can run a liquor house, you can run a nightclub that's legit. All you need, a lot of these cats go, well, I got felonies, but you got an auntie or uncle who has nothing. You get the business in their name. You put the funding in, and then you run it. Right. You don't have to have, because listen, the alcohol license has to be in somebody who doesn't have the certain charges and things like that.
And they do it every day.
And there's people that do it every day, because there are white people that do this every day. Basically, you become the club manager, or you become or you just do like this. You invest and let them teach them what they need to do to run this legal, legit business, and you legitimize yourself. But we so stuck in the thing of, I don't want to pay the IRS. But let me tell you something.
That's great.
And I want to tell you, this is something I tell hustlers all the time. And this is me being the grandpa, the 40-year-old, the kid that done this shit. I did shit.
Head.
So let me tell you something. All you gangsters out there listening, watching this podcast, and y'all think shit cool. Let me tell you some shit, and this is some real shit. This is what your big homie should be telling you. When you do a crime with drugs, alcohol, or guns, you're going to pay the IRS every fucking dollar that you've avoided paying them for years.
Yes, Lord.
Because when you get out that restitution, if you read your restitution papers, a lot of times that is to the I, the R, and
you
the
will
S.
go back.
And you will go back.
You will go back.
And
recidivism is what they call it.
Al Capone and them did not go down for racketeering.
Nope.
They went down first for on the federal government taxes.
Couldn't get them. Couldn't touch them.
Couldn't touch them. But the IRS can touch you. Because the IRS said, how you got that Ferrari?
How you get that?
How you
get that?
Look at, they took Ludacris. They took all these different artists because they didn't pay their taxes.
Not Ludacris.
So let me break it down to you.
Ludacris.
So when you're a drug dealer, and then this is a free game for you. You're a drug dealer in the state of North Carolina.
Yes, Lord.
There is a form. I cannot give you the exact number of that form. But in North Carolina and on the federal tax level, every year y'all drug dealers, if you go get you a scat pack, your little Hellcat, whatever, you ain't got no job, you file taxes any damn way.
Right.
It's called illegal gains. They don't ask you what your illegal gain is. They don't ask you what you're doing. All they want to know.
All you got to do is file cash.
All you got to do is file cash. There you go. All you got to do is file cash.
Somebody connect. Somebody understand.
Y'all get free
Somebody
game.
understand. Let me continue.
Let me
Y'all get free game.
They don't even know it.
Right now, this is in North Carolina.
And then, wait. And then guess what? And then you can start a legitimate business
with that
and say that I have been sole proprietorship for this long, and every year that I filed cash, it was under this business.
Everybody over here.
And you be surprised.
Let me get it. Let me get the rest of it while I'm speaking it. You fill out the forms. You go get you a CPA. You let him fill out the form. He's not gonna ask you what the hell you do, and don't you tell him because you're self-incriminating.
Yep.
If they ask you, you say gambling. Because let me put it this way, everybody gambles, and that is illegal. And you say you can say I want $100,000 gamble, and they will tell you what the taxes are you gonna pay on, and you pay them taxes. Because let me tell you what happens. When the motherfucker bam that door down and break that damn door down and run in there, guess who takes your stuff? The DEA may seize it, but the articles that are filed by the IRS
Talk about
to
it.
take your stuff. I know a drug dealer that everybody's like, he snitched. He did not snitch.
Oh boy,
he was paying taxes because he had legitimate businesses,
That's
and he made sure that he filed the illegal gains form along with his legitimate business stuff. And when they came, they got him. And guess what?
So in other words, he had his paperwork.
What did he do, Dave?
When he did his 10, sat his ass down, his legitimate businesses was still making him money.
Yes, Lord.
And when he came home, he had the cars and all that stuff that he could sell and get back on his feet.
Only what the feds took, they keep.
The only thing the feds could take is what they could prove.
Taxes.
Only thing the feds could take was the stuff that they could prove that he bought with illicit drug money. And guess what he said? Right there it says, gambling money. Y'all better learn to read, because there's a loophole for everything. Because let me explain something.
I had to learn.
There's always a loophole.
This system was started by, but this system was started by John F. Kennedy's daddy was a bootlegger, and he became president of the United States.
Connected to who? The mob.
The mob been running stuff for years. The mob has casinos. The mob has this. The mob has that. But guess what? They pay their taxes.
Yeah.
And when they come for them, they put them in jail. They go to a little golf course prison for 7-8 years, and they come out and they still.
And they might not even do 7-8 years. You be surprised. They might not even be 7-8 years. You over here say 7-8 years.
Listen,
some of them niggas do 7-8 months. But continue.
And they come home, and guess what? They still are rich.
Meanwhile, they were able to pay that back.
Meanwhile,
they paperwork.
Meanwhile, your black ass
paid taxes.
Meanwhile, your black ass come home with a dog leash on your leg.
But he
and
told
the
you,
IRS max and your PO going, you need to pay this, and you going, my PO hounding me. No, the IRS is telling him, if he don't pay this, we're gonna put you. That's how a lot of y'all go from state charges. Some of y'all be telling. Some of y'all be telling lies.
Them motherfucking
y'all be like, oh, I went to Fed because of the drug charge. No, you went to Fed because you owe the IRS motherfucking tax. The IRS is the Fed, and they will take you.
Nigga, hey, am I lying? Motherfucker rolling around with a goddamn construction company right now.
I done seen it with my own eyes, and I'm not gonna speak on who it was. But when the alphabets came through the door, one vest said ATF, that's alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. The other one said DEA. And that last vest said Treasury.
Yeah.
The word was Treasury, not IRS.
You Treasury from the government.
Guess who Treasury is, though? IRS. The R and the S.
IRS.
They came because Treasury is their enforcement department. They came, they got them. And to show you how real it is, when you see all them big drug busting, it's the Coast Guard. Guess what department the Coast Guard is under? They're not under the Department of the Navy. They're not under the Department of Defense. They're under the Treasury Department.
What free game, goddamn.
So they take all that cocaine. That's
free game.
I didn't even know that.
The people taking the cocaine ain't just the DEA.
Hey, I want to
they are the motherfucking
I want to add to that.
They want their money.
I want to add to that. They just now accumulated $500 billion of Pablo Escobar money in Colombia, my nigga.
Whoa.
That's just what they put on the form. What the CIA took and put in the bank.
Oh, wait. I'm getting to that.
Facts.
Now, guess what?
Facts.
Colombia found it, and Colombia can't even get a penny of it. They gotta wait for the United States government to come pick it up.
Yeah. Oh, let me break down.
Are y'all
So
surprised?
Ass tender.
I want you to go.
So are we still in the deficit?
I want y'all to think about this. This is some real shit.
Okay.
I want y'all to think about this. The DEA has a budget, right? You can see their budget. If you go to government.com, they will say what the DEA budget is, right?
Right.
Congress writes the budget, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Look up the CIA's budget.
Oh, it's
There
called
ain't
black.
none.
Ain't no.
There ain't one. How does the CIA make money? Because they're never funded by the federal government.
No.
So where their money coming from? All those drug seizures
Hold on,
and all
let me
that
interject.
stuff.
Let me interject, y'all. Careful with the knowledge. Careful with the knowledge you dropping about
public,
CIA.
listen, this
Civil
is
public domain.
This is public domain because Oliver North spilled them beans a long time ago, bro.
Let me ask you a question. Whoever bought that shit back from law enforcement? I bought my shit back from law enforcement. Silver asset forfeiture, bitch. I got checks.
Silver asset
I got fucking checks.
That's how
I can prove I bought
if you
what
can
I
prove
bought.
what you bought, you get
know
your
what
shit
I'm
back.
saying? If you can prove you bought what you bought,
anytime
you got to give it back.
Anytime they take your money, drug dealers.
I fought that shit.
If you can put a receipt together.
Yes, Lord.
And when I say not a fake receipt, let's say you went to the bank and you dropped $10,000 out your bank account. And when you got caught, some of y'all got bank accounts. And when you got caught, you can prove that $10,000 came from the bank. You will get your money back.
Right.
If your mama and daddy, and some of y'all drug dealers, Lord have mercy. Your mama and daddy longshoremen.
They came off late.
You was a rich kid.
They jumped off the porch late.
You jumped off the porch and you didn't have to. Your parents just got money anyway. If your parents got money and they want to get your money back for you, all they got to prove is that they came out, that they have the means and the assets that they can provide you with $10,000 cash. You can get your money back. See, just because they tell you we taking it, we ain't giving it back.
Right.
That is not.
Well, let me interject because I don't want us to go off the subject. Let me interject.
Yeah.
I don't want to be giving too much pimp game, drug game.
It's not pimp game.
We done broke the game.
Let's get back to business and sacrifice.
Which was the subject.
Let's get back to business and sacrifice. So I wasn't an entrepreneur in the lines of y'all. I bred dogs. A lot of people know me for that.
Wait. That's definitely
Okay,
entrepreneurship.
but let me put this way. I was going down the correct path.
Yeah.
So the correct path is you buy some puppies. Breeding now, like I said, breeding stock.
Puppies.
That's not.
Why you say like that?
Paperwork.
You buy some puppies with paperwork, breeding stock, foundation stock. There's a different level of dog when you go. That's not them little $700, $500 pit bull. That's them $20,000, $10,000, $5,000 dogs. Or Rottweiler. That's that. They got paperwork that take them back to their great granddaddy, 7, 8 generations. Plus, you get a DNA profile that tells you what bloodlines and all that.
DNA profile.
See, that's
how 4 years of AKC breedership membership for $150.
You either gonna be AK, you either gonna be an AKC, you either gonna be, if you got Rottweilers, you're gonna be an AKC certified breeder or whatever, or the smaller registries. But if you doing pit bulls, it's ABKC, BFKC.
Hold on. For those who don't know the acronyms, you got to break down the acronyms.
American Kennel Club.
American Kennel Club
is AKC.
Bonafide is Bonafide Kennel Club. Then it's American Pit Bull. It's a bunch of them. Let's put it. It's a lot of them.
It's a lot of them.
Some of them are known for the elite, more illegal side of breeding dogs. Some of them are known for legit.
Yeah.
But here's the thing: every breeding club or kennel club that gives you paperwork has another level.
Yeah.
I am a registered kennel. I will not
now.
No, I've been a registered kennel for 20 years. But
so you still are now?
I still am now.
Okay.
I paid my fee. I got my paperwork. Well, I don't have paperwork. Ben David had burned my paperwork, but I can get it back. But the point of the matter to it is this.
Wait, who is this Ben David?
Ben David.
No, listen, I'll get to that point. The point of the matter is I am a legal, legit kennel entity as far as they're concerned. I never got my EIN and tax numbers because I wasn't to that point yet. But where I made my mistake was this. When I caught my sacrifice, which was facing 21. Now, let me tell you how real that dog shit is.
Good.
I was facing 20. No, listen. Ben David had me facing 21 years and 7 months. I know that. I know it by heart because that's how long I was looking at for dog fighting. I never fought a dog.
Yeah.
I never did shit because I was exonerated of all charges. I caught an animal cruelty charge, and that's because I did not get one of my dogs shots.
Exonerated.
So let me break this down to you how it really was. They came at me listen.
Can I interject?
You don't want to interject right now.
I'm just going to say one thing, though. Don't forget what you're about to say. I feel like America cares too much about their pet animals more so than human beings.
I'm getting there, Tim.
Continue.
I'm getting there. This is where I'm going. So, let me break how Ben David worked me. Mm-hmm. Ben David is the current and has been.
I heard he got
he's the current district attorney of New Hanover County. I don't have an issue with Ben, and I will never have an issue with Ben. He was doing his job, and he was being led by the animal control at that time. Was not led by the sheriffs, but it was led by people that didn't know shit about dogs.
What year? Because United New Hanover County Sheriffs had it for a while.
This was like 2000. My son was born in 2000, and wait a minute, he's 22. He's 20 now. He was born in 2020. He's born in 2002. This was 2001.
Okay.
So He's 20. He just turned
New
20.
Hanover County took it back over in
29.
2010. I just wanted to realize that.
2 years younger than me.
Yeah.
Sorry. So here's how it works. I've got the dogs. I'm doing good. I'm getting there. I'm getting ready to get my LLC. Me and my dad talking about it. I'm setting up my backyard or whatever. So some brothers come to me. One of these brothers had the red folder. For those of you who don't know what a red folder is, back in the day, a red folder meant you were considered a minister to society in New Hanover County.
Yes.
But he was a friend of mine's nephew.
Red folder.
So he bought 2 puppies from me. I gave him the paperwork with my name on it. Now, at the time, I didn't know that there's a legal loophole that I needed to do, and I learned this afterwards, that I was supposed to give him another form that said, I do not sell these dogs for any illegal or illicit purposes, and I retain the right to remove the dogs from your property and get them back. So him and his little buddies, they do some dumb shit. Blah, blah, blah. They try to sell the dogs as fighting dogs to 2 probation officers. Mind you, at the time, I'm on probation. I'm on probation at the time already for something else. So they start a case up and start investigating them. But let me explain something to you. When you're 2 dummies, and I call it out, when you're 2 or 3 dummies,
And you know who you are.
no, when I say dummies, I mean you have your highest level of education is 6th grade. Right. One of them had a 7th grade and one of them had 12th grade. One of them was already, 2 of them were already multiple time felons and one of them was white.
You crash dummies at this point.
So when they needed something, they went back to the breeder who happened to have a college education, the money, the funds, the cars, the vehicles to do this, but I didn't do that type of shit. I like my dogs to look like something and not like a piece of chewed up meat. Now, what I will say is this. I do believe in hog hunting. I do believe in all that, which will scar your dog, but I didn't have any of those at the time. So we get to the meat of the thing. My sacrifice was this. At the time, I'm sacrificing because I'm going to work. Feeding dogs ain't easy. Let me explain something. That's them 50-pound bags.
It's expensive.
When them dogs
And
eat,
heavy.
you got 10 dogs, they eating 5 or 6 bags a week. That's a couple $100.
Talk about it. He know what he talking about. He talking about it.
We're not including shots.
They
We're
gotta
not
have
including
pit
whelping.
bulls.
We're not including whelping boxes. We're not including all that. We're not including ear clipping at the time because people want the dog's ears clipped and all this stuff. All that is expensive. I had to get a mastectomy for a dog because one of her nipples got infected while she had puppies. I had one dog get his toe caught in the pin and the other dog bit it off. I had to get that. That was $900. I had a dog that had heartworms and never got the heartworms because they came and kicked in my door. My mother just had heart surgery. They put on the floor. They came at me like I was selling so much dope that is ridiculous. It made
They put your mama on the floor?
They put my mama on the floor. They drove. I wasn't even home. To show you how angry I was. I was down the street. No, listen, I was down the street watching them run up in my crib. I could have ran. When I found mom, I ran up on them. They almost shot me. But to get to the point, the sacrifices that I was making didn't add up to what ended up happening to me. So to beat the charge.
When was this?
This was 2001. So to beat the charge, here's what I had to go through to beat the charge. The DA at the time made a mistake. He used
10 years old.
He used a law from the 1800s called shocking. Shocking is where you take a horse and you overwork him. He said I had slot mills and all this kind of shit for the dog. I had none of that.
Right.
He said he had video. I don't even like to take pictures. Y'all taking pictures of me now because I'm grown. I don't give a fuck. Back then,
And they got video on video now.
I would have punched you in the face about taking a video.
Right.
They said they had videos of me dog fighting. And I knew all this was lies. So at the end, he said, well, look, you got to take something. So much like TK, the sacrifice I made, here's why. If I don't take the 3 years of probation without dogs, I can never have another dog again. It's either, he said, I'll let you walk free.
Right.
And you never own a dog again in life.
You plead out?
If I plead out and take this, I can never own another dog again in life.
So what you do?
Or I can take this animal cruelty charge and take 3 years of probation.
What you do?
I took the probation because motherfucker, you now tell me what I can and cannot have. And I love dogs. And I'm back on my bullshit. But I don't breed dogs.
That's a sacrifice.
That's a sacrifice.
I love my dogs. Like my dog is my therapy.
That's a heavy sacrifice.
But listen, I'm gonna tell you, the sacrifice wasn't over. But we ain't finished, brother. The sacrifice was, let me explain something to you. I am admonished in veterinarian offices. I couldn't get a job because, once again, Them other people love them animals more than love people.
Yeah,
let me tell you something. And you know, I would tell my story. So listen, I don't want anybody to judge me because I'm gonna run off my charge. I have zero felonies on my record.
Some black people.
I have zero felonies on my record. I have a carrying a concealed carry charge. That was for a fucking steak knife in a rental car.
God damn.
Wait a minute.
Shut the fuck
up.
Oh
no, Tim, hold on.
It's not funny.
Before y'all get deep, this is how they hook a black man.
God damn.
That don't phase an employer. I have multiple assault charges. Because I'll beat your ass. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I do have an assault on a female charge because me and one of my girlfriends got into it, but she also has an assault charge. But they gonna put the F on mine and they gonna leave her with just an assault.
Yeah.
That don't make employers blink. I've got an assault on a government official because a cop got a boo-boo when he was beating my ass in front of my mom.
I got that as a juvenile record.
But when they see animal cruelty,
yeah.
What did you do to those dogs?
You facing.
The lady, Michael Vick. That's all they see is Michael Vick.
His maximum was 20.
Michael.
Listen,
his maximum
my maximum was 21 years of sex. Listen, that's state time. And at that time, you're gonna take 65% of that to the door.
My maximum with one gun is 10 years.
Let me explain something.
I mean
65. No, listen.
That's a dog.
No, listen. I'm not finished, Tim. That was 60.
That's a dog.
Tim, the sacrifice I was willing to make, because I stood my ground, because I want. That's my dream is to breed dog, to be a dog breeder. But listen, the sacrifice I made, I was getting 21 years and 7 months state time.
Right.
Mind you, I am 40. I'm 40.
Say that one more time.
I'm 41 years old.
Hold on, what happened? You said 20 what?
21 years and 7 months. I'm 45 years old, Tim. I still wouldn't be home right now.
Right. Still sick.
And that's not including. And that's not including if the feds pick it up. Because when the feds would have picked it up, that would have been facing another 15 years.
So hold on.
And I had to do 85% of that to the door.
Let me add on a little more cherry. So you mean to tell me, in the United States of America, you can rape a woman and get less time. I know this. I know this.
No, I want you to. But the dog has more rights than a woman. I want you to hear how deep this shit went. They brought in a special investigator from Johnston County. You know, Johnston County has been in my radar for so long because my wife is from Johnston County. And this is before I knew her. But the special investigator came from Johnston County. He specialized in dog fighting because dog fighting up there is the biggest thing up there. No, he was just the district attorney. He was just the sheriff up there, and that's what he did. Yeah. They brought in one of the guys that worked on the Michael Vick case in on my ass.
Damn.
Then David thought he had a motherfucking slam dunk till he fucked around and told me too much and said he got me on camera. And I said, no, the fuck you don't. And he started looking back. And what it was, at that time, he was believing what the animal control people were saying, but they're not trained investigators. If that would have been the sheriff's department, they would have cut me free and said all he did was selling the dogs, because I didn't even really talk to them cats. They lived behind me, and like I see the puppies walking with them, but they look fine. Like they wasn't doing that.
So you mean to tell me the record that you, because I have, ladies and gentlemen, do not try to judge people about records. This is Great Apes Cafe. Please like, subscribe, share. So the most biggest negativism on your record is the dog.
The dogs. That's it. The animal lovers period is the dog.
Hey, it happens every day.
Yeah. No. That's why when that's why when I tell people, I tell my little homies this all the time. Trouble is easy to get into, but it's hard as fuck to get out of that shit.
He was doing it the legit way. Me and my nigga couldn't do it his way until the neighborhood started snitching on us, talking about we had two allowed dogs. Then we had to get an AKC license.
Listen, so when I say this, we're looking at aspects of business. She did a legit business and it was legit and easy. He did a legit business and it was people trying to take him back to the illegal. I was trying to do a legit business. And let me tell you something. When I say dogs is big business, we talking if you got the right bloodlines running through your yard, you selling dogs for $10,000, $20,000. Even now with the downfall of pit bulls and whatever.
What?
Let's right now, you get a little, let me see what's my dog right now. She's Boyle's bloodline. I pay $800 for her. But let me explain something to you. It's other dogs.
What type of dog is it?
It's a pit bull. But the bloodlines matter. So
bloodlines
matter. Percentages matter. All that. What they got in their background. Yeah. But it's other bloodlines out there that are so rare and hard to get hold of that they can sell them for $10,000, $20,000 a dog.
I had the blue man.
And look, and that's not even. I'm in the dogs period. So I'd have been in the Cane Corsos by now. Cane Corsos. I'd have been in the. I love Rottweiler. And let me tell you something. Rottweiler puppies, 1,200 to 700 people. So if you have a little after your overhead and all that, you some of these breeders are making $40,000, $50,000.
Tell them what a Great Dane run. Tell them what a Great Dane run.
Man, look, you can't.
Tell them what a Great Dane run.
Right now, I seen a
Scooby-Doo.
I seen a CKC Great Dane.
Scooby-Doo.
No, this was a sign on
Great
side
Dane,
road.
I know
Scooby-Doo.
They wanted $3,000. They want $3,000. And let me tell you something. A $3,000 Great Dane is not. It's not a show dog. That's just a regular one-round yard. Yeah.
$2,000 or $3,000.
And let me put it back to sacrifices about business.
Yep.
Everybody who's going into business. Oh,
yeah, no. I'm about to interject you in.
Go ahead, interject.
So let me interject. So it's just a great sadness, the fact that, you know.
I'm glad you brought that up, Dave.
Your record, the worst thing on your record.
Nigga.
Well, it's
not the worst thing.
But it's up there.
In the eyes of people.
And people want to question about the dog situation.
The record
and I'm thinking there's people out there who have
on the charges.
Listen, the record is what holds me back from starting other businesses too.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Because there's other businesses I want to venture into. But as soon as I put my record up there.
But he won't. Yeah.
I can't make that. That's why I say what I say sometimes. I can manage something, but some things I just can't do because
it'll hold him back.
It would cost me more to try to legally fight to get around this shit to get where I need to be.
Right. Well, look, it's a great sadness that you have to go through that. I ain't gonna lie.
That's real though.
That make me need to drink more. Like me hearing.
Bro, they try to keep me and my nigga out of $200,000 house neighborhood, bro, because of our dogs, bro. We literally had to go and get fucking AKC a piece. You know what I'm saying? It cost me $200, cost that motherfucker $200, and we had just to say that, you know, we are here and we breeding puppies or whatever. Man, my motherfucker, I had Super Bowl puppies, man. Them motherfuckers are $500 a piece, bro. We made $3,000 within a goddamn weekend.
Ladies and gentlemen,
no bullshit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Great Apes Cafe. Please like, subscribe, share. Great appreciation for people, entertainment, and success. Kev, now it's down to you. The quietest nigga on the podcast. Everybody has something to say. Everybody has something to say. The motherfucking genius.
Well,
what is?
I like how everybody went.
The sacrifice. What is the sacrifices you have to get to be happy?
I mean,
in a sense,
I sacrificed going to college. Really, I owe a lot back.
I feel that.
I'm able to get a business license or whatever, but I always did like partnership with people because like I detail cars. Like right now I'm learning how to sand and paint cars. I always worked on cars. So like my passion was mostly with cars. Like I love cars or whatever. I just ain't take the time, you know, to go and open up my own.
But you learning though.
You learning.
But like I'm in position where I could do that. You know what I'm saying? But on the side, you know, like I'm, you know, like far as partnership, like I partnered up with the studio. My homeboy made shirts. You know, like he just got this t-shirt machine that's like $17,000. I have a lot of different business. I have a lot of different aspects. You know, I kind of just sat back and played the field for a minute. You know?
Tell them what. First of all, I met Cool Kev in college. Tell them what you went to college for.
Business management.
Okay. Oh, hey.
Niggas don't even know. I got to put respect on my nigga name.
You know, like
respect on that.
That's right.
So, you know, like as far as what I heard so far is very important. You know, I always soak up the game. I like how people can go get it without having a business degree or whatever.
True.
But you know, at the end of the day, for me, it's like I'm getting to the age, like I don't have any kids or nothing yet. So I still have a lot of time on my hand, you know, to go do whatever, you know, whatever I can. So I'm really like, I'm about at that point where it's about to be something, you know, spectacular. I opened up a few businesses before. I always like the multi-level marketing, but the market, as far as the market,
MLMs.
Some people bless, you know, some people make it through the storm, but for me, it's like I really was loving the crypto thing, but it's just real up and down for me right now. So I kind of like fell back out of it. But it's a lot of my friends that's still successful, you know, still making, you know, those hundreds of thousands a year. And,
Let me interject. So, because it sounds like you're nerfing yourself. In college, y'all, I didn't know Kev 100%, but in college, the first time I met Kev was his tenacity to persevere. This nigga go around all in college. Yo, I'm doing this and that, da. And it wasn't like everybody going left. You ever see like a herd of sheep? And the sheep herder, what they do is they make sure they create a barrier to block the sheep from getting away, and they go through the exit to go to an opening. My nigga is not a sheep. Like he was not being led by anybody. He was his own leader. That's when I first met in college.
You probably can still catch my name on a few things in school. You know what I mean?
Alrighty.
But as far as me, man, I am about to do something spectacular. It's probably gonna be with cars, but at the end of the day, I'm just, you know, man, I've been playing the field, man. You know, like I'm like the guy that sits in the back of the crowd, you know. Yeah,
let me know when you really dead serious about that. I know a friend of mine. Shout out to Bob King on the mall. Rest in peace to Mr. King. You know, he passed away, I think, a year or two ago. Mr. Jeremy, who works at Bob King, shout out to you. He does detailing. And Mr. Jeremy, and don't get mad at me, he makes more than $125,000 a year detailing cars for Bob King, and he does Mercedes, Porsche. I mean, he does it all. So you let me know when you ready to make that move, and I'll get Mr. Jeremy to push you on. He been doing this shit for longer than I've been alive.
We actually still got a detail van. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was riding around for a minute, like, you know, the detail van just loaded up with water. We got all the supplies in, pressure wash, everything. But as far as like business wise, when I do open up a business, it's gonna be full fledged, like, you know, mechanic, detailing, pressure wash, or
don't give out too much of it now.
Don't give too much. Somebody's idea.
It's gonna be painting, you know, all of that stuff in one. You know, it's not gonna be. It's gonna be departmentalized.
Compartmentalized.
Yeah, you know.
We understand what you're saying.
It's if y'all don't know, man, it's late at night.
It's very late, or rather
it's
early.
Like 2 a.m.
It's no longer Saturday, it's Sunday, and the sun shall be rising soon.
I shouldn't have said that because someone said it.
I ain't gonna lie. I'm ready to see you there and make sure you be on your grind. And I love seeing my podcast mates' affirmation of what sacrifices they had to make.
I just been blessed, and fortunately, like I ain't never really been broke though. You know.
I feel that. So, even me being from the projects, I never felt broke.
So I'd like to interject before we go off. Tim, you talked about all our business ventures. What is yours?
The business. I wish nobody actually brought that up for mine.
Well,
ain't that selfish as hell? I'm so selfish.
It is not selfish.
But I would say this though. My business adventure, it's not a business. Like for me, it's just music. Anything music, I want to make sure I vibrate on that level. And
man, this podcast is a business.
This podcast is a business. At some point, I'm not going to go on detail, but the podcast will be growing in the sense of it becoming a real cafe eventually. That's where I would see that direction. But I won't go dropping too much knowledge. But I will say this.
That's another one of those partnerships.
Definitely partnership. Multiple, uno, dos, tres, cuanto. Multiple partnerships. Right. I would say this though, in that, doing this episode, the reason why I brought it up, sometimes you have to make sacrifices and chase your dreams, regardless on how it make anybody feel. Yeah. If it makes anybody feel negative, your auntie, your cousin, your uncle, your best friend, your colleague, even me, you have to make sacrifices to grab onto opportunity that make you vibrate to be happy. I hate when I see motherfuckers try to make sacrifices and they listen to their colleagues that hold them back. They listen to that person who say, you can't do this, and this. They listen to that friend who you thought is a friend and they're really a friend of me, and they tell you, are you sure this is the best thing for you to do? I can't see you do that. And you like, maybe they right, and you sit back. And really you had the energy, you had the resources to actually get you to where you need to be at. Self-confirmation, self-affirmation is more important than other people's affirmation. When people, even on my own podcast, if they tell me I can't do something or I can do something. 9 times out of 10, I listen. I may agree for the conversational purposes of life, but I ain't listen to everybody, even my own people in my own group.
You're not supposed to.
I have to make this move of making music. And me and my producer, we would butt heads all the time. He'd be like, Tim, the hardest nigga to work with. He doing this and that. Blasey, blasey, blah.
Shout out to DJ Barbarian.
Shout out to my producer.
Yes,
I'm not
Lord.
even nerfing him.
DJ.
Before we end this out, I just want
I'm
to
not
say
nerfing
this.
him at all.
So a Super Bowl isn't won by one person. One
Facts.
person can't throw the ball, run and go get it himself.
It's one by a team.
Facts.
It's one by a team, dog.
So like my team, I built the team up, and then now I feel like, I'm saying I can run for that Super Bowl. So that's what
I like
it was
that
more
analogy.
like for me. Like I had put a nice team together. I got trustworthy people.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
I like that
I still cut people out to this day, but at the end of the day, I feel
quarterback.
nice and situated to the point where I can start making some decisions.
The question
Because
is,
I come from not having anything, so
That's a great
it's a
analogy.
little
Kev.
different.
I like that analogy because the question is, it comes that I get from that, Kev. I fucks with that. It's not about who you deal with or who you no longer need to deal with.
Yeah,
to
it
get
take
onto
a
that
little
expedition
time. It take a
of
little
me to
time
go.
sometimes.
I cut my own family, and you know who you are. Dad, it's my father and my uncles, the only niggas I fuck with. Everybody else, dead seem like a dead car battery. Let me take that back. Let me redact that. Probably except for my great aunt and a few other cousins. But everybody else, and I don't wish death upon y'all. I know my producer want me to wrap this up, but what I'm getting at is, and the reason why I'm so still talking is because you have to fight. You have to fight for your dreams because nobody's gonna fight for your dreams for you.
Tim, just like we were discussing on the porch. Kev changed the analogy for us. Well, I talking about generals and stuff. But I got a better one for you since you never want to be the leader. You're the quarterback of this team.
QB.
And listen, here's why you're the QB. Because the QB ain't always the star of the team.
Facts.
But he's a leader. Because you got wide receivers, they stars.
Right, you got running back.
You got running back.
got
That line,
nickelback.
the people that protect him, that line is more important to the quarterback than them wide receivers ever could be because he could get crushed if he don't have it. And if you switch
Unless if you Rosenberger who will run the ball
Yeah,
in a
you know,
heartbeat.
we ain't gonna get it. And then you gotta have your defense. And everybody's a part of the team, and the team only goes as far as everybody in the team.
Which I'm happy you said that. Let me interject on that and add on the component that y'all missing. It's not just about the dream that you chase in life. Who are you willing to bring with you onto the victory of the Super Bowl that Kevin was mentioning?
Everybody don't make the team.
Not everybody will make the team.
Some people get injured along the way.
The
Some people
peop-
get cut.
The people I cut off in my life had no business being there when I get the trophy. When you make sacrifices,
That's what's up.
when you make sacrifices
felt
in
that.
life, you have to think about, why are you burning that bridge? A lot of people say, "Oh, it's not good to burn bridges."
Set the motherfucker on
Set
fire
that
while
shit
you
on
standing
fire and burn some sage while you at it. And the reason why I tell y'all this is because I've done it. And you would see how clear it would be like clear water. You have to picture yourself in your dream. Picture yourself in your end game. Picture yourself in your goal. You said you want that Porsche? Picture yourself being in that and what sacrifices you're willing to get to be there. That doesn't mean that you have to, it's not a good idea to sell yourself
Right.
in a certain way. It's short. Some people sell themselves in a perspective that's not short. But what sacrifices are you willing to make? I need you to leave a comment. This is Great Apes Cafe, great appreciation for people, entertainment, and success. And I see my producer. But just think about it. I mean, before I wrap this up, give me like 2 more minutes. What is your, like, the alcohol ain't hitting y'all. Don't be trying to come back to me. I'm just
starting to hit now.
No. I'm just saying, because like everybody talk about dreams and this and that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you gotta do shit that's out of your normal. Even my own acquaintances, they don't know me. They only know about 85% of me. It's hard
They
to
don't
know
that
100%.
much, but okay.
It's hard to know 100% of somebody.
Yeah.
Nobody does.
And the thing about it is, when even my nigga Dave, who I consider a mentor because he's an old head, but he's a mentor. I'm acting like he ain't here. Go back. He say like, Tim, you being too positive. You da-da-da-da-da-da. You let motherfuckers do this and that. Da-da-da-da-da. It's not that. The thing is, you have to understand what sacrifices are and what bridges you want to build with people. Being harsh doesn't mean anything in life. Being putting on a girdie,
For real.
putting on a defense mechanism where you're ready to combat every opportunity that comes your way. That's not it. What fights are you willing to fight, and what stand are you willing to stand for? What is your principles?
Right.
A man and a woman is nothing. I could get my dignity hurt. I could get my pride hurt. But if I get my principle hurt, best believe I'm fucking somebody up. Because the principles means everything.
Right.
Principle, nigga.
Principles
What
mean
you gotta say,
everything.
Dan?
It's the principle behind that shit,
It's
nigga.
the principle behind the shit.
So just to
the
say
principality.
just to say that. You wonder
Damn,
why
I'm spitting all over the mic.
wonder why I'm on your ass like that? Because the principle I see as a part of your team. Call me.
I value my
listen,
team.
Listen, call me the defense.
I value my team.
I'll take that. Call me that line.
I value my team more so.
Call me Lawrence Taylor. I love number 52. But call me LT on this. Lawrence Taylor once said he went in there and picked up a football when his team was fucking up. And you know what he did? He told them every which way that they could take a football and score a touchdown. And he then took that
That's a good
football
perspective.
and proceeded to explain where he was going to shove it up the quarterback's ass if he didn't use one of those ways
Not the blung
to
hole.
score a touchdown.
Damn.
Sometimes you got to have somebody put their foot in your ass or threaten to put their foot in your
Which
ass
is-
or explain to you all the ways you can do something to remind you. Not to force you to do anything, but to remind you, I got your back, but at this point, I don't see whether you got your own back.
Which is why in the alley-oop, what you just said, I'm about to start wrapping this up.
Okay, wrap up.
The important thing is surrounding yourself
With
the right people. And I'm so blessed. I'm blessed to have people surrounded in my life who is not yes people.
Hell no.
My wife is
I'ma
not a
say
yes
no.
person. My nigga to my left and right are not yes people. Queen is not a yes person. My nigga TK is not a yes person. My producer, we butt heads more than anybody.
That nigga says no
not
more than
a yes
anybody.
person. And I'm blessed with, I'm shocked. I'm shell shocked. Like, well, what the fuck
But
going
we all
on?
encourage you to do everything that you
I
want
see
to do.
that. And I encourage y'all to follow everything. Everything that you believe that you need to stand for, regardless of how it make anybody feel. Even me. This is why I'm grimy.
You
That's
are not
why I'm
grimy. Tim,
Anyway, anywho, this is Great Apes Cafe.
where's that football? That's what I was playing.
I hope that you like, subscribe, share, leave a
Facts.
comment. Great appreciation for people, entertainment, and
Yes,
success.
Lord.
What sacrifices you had to make in life to be successful? Deuces, au revoir, arrivederci.
Peace, y'all.
Don't let the door hit you in the butt. Sis, don't try to clown me on my socks at the last part of the podcast. Yeah, I got pineapples on my socks, and no, they're not upside down. Shit, I just learned something new.
Appreciate you, bro.
I had to vent a little bit on that ending part because I'm like, yo, we gotta chase the dreams.
Can I say that I fell asleep 4 times